it's Kalyn with a Paper Smooches card tutorial. Today I'm making a baby card and I'm using the little onesie die from the baby shower die set as well as a few stamps from the Pip Squeak set, and then I'm going to be using some pattern paper from the Adhering crepe paper 6x6 pad. So first I'm just taking my card, which is 5.5 by 4.25, I'm folding it the long way, and just kind of planning out where I'm going to put my onesies. So I'm going to have them kind of going in a little arc pattern as if they were like hanging on a little clothesline. So I'm just looking through that Adhering paper collection and finding a good neutral pattern that I can use as my background. So just picking this really nice subtle ledger kind of pattern and just going to place that on the card and measure out how big I want it based on just leaving a little bit of border on the card front. So it's probably about 1/4 inch around, and just going to trim that down and then have it centered. So now that I've got that and I know what I'm going to do with my dies, I'm just going to look in that pattern paper pack and pick out different papers and colors that I think will look good together, and then cut them out and die cut them. So now I have all of my onesies die cut, but I'm actually going to exchange that middle one for another one that I cut out at the end. It's just a smaller floral pattern, and I think it looks better given that the onesie is such a small die cut. So now I'm just kind of arranging them how I think I'm going to put them in the color order that I like. And then I decided, instead of just having the background be one solid piece, that I would add just a little strip of pattern paper at the bottom. I just kind of like the way that that breaks up the layout of a card and just adds a little bit of interest. Plus I love patterns, so any excuse to add any more onto my card is good with me. So I cut out that strip to line up at the bottom of my card, and now I'm just taking some pinking shears from Fiskars and just cutting a little edge on that. I always like to do this just because it adds some interest and just a little bit of fun. So now I'm taking the Congrats to Your Super Cute Family sentiment stamp from the Pip Squeak set, and I'm just going to center that right in the middle of my little onesie die strip. Now I'm taking some Classic Craft ink from Paper Tray ink, and I'm going to press that onto my stamp and then stamp that down. And I really like this color because it's a really soft brown and it's subtle, but you can definitely see it and it will still have presence on your card. But it's a great way if you don't want your sentiment to distract or detract too much from your layout design. So I decided to take some flower stamps from the Blossoming Buds stamp set and add them just subtly in the background on either side of the sentiment. I just thought this would add another nice layer of texture and just some brightness and a little bit of floral to make this card extra feminine. So I'm going to ink up my stamps with some Harvest Gold ink, also from Paper Tray ink, and just stamp that down on either side of that sentiment. So I decided to add just one more little stamped element, and that is the tiny bow from the Pip Squeak set. I just thought this would be a cute little accent and just a nice way to finish off the card. So just taking that tiny little bow, putting it on my smallest block, and then I'm going to stamp that in some mint julep ink from Hero Arts. So now I'm just going to remove all of my die cut pieces and take my Tombow Mono Multi-Glue adhesive and adhere down the front of my card as well as the little strip of pattern paper. So now I'm going to take the little die cut onesies and do one last check to make sure I like the way they look before I adhere them down and make sure that they all fit. And I decided to just switch out that blue and green one. I'm not sure why, I just kind of liked the way that they looked that way instead. So just taking my same glue and adhering 4 of the onesies down straight onto the card, and then I'm going to take that center one and adhere it using a foam square. So once I adhere this final onesie down, our card is complete. I really hope you enjoyed watching this and that it gives you an idea for your baby card. Be sure to check out Paper Smooches for these stamps and dies that I use, and please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to catch my latest crafty videos. Thank you so much for watching.